Hello friends of Monday Madness, welcome to another episode of the Jellyfilled Donut Podcast. We're on to the 11th episode.
Yes.
Midway through...
Legs 11.
Yes, midway through our arc, I guess, of all the starter episodes. Again, by the end of this, we're going to decide which one was the best. Or at least the most important, if you like. So, yeah, we've just done the Bulbasaur episode recently enough. And now it's time for us to move on to the Charmander episode, which is called Charmander, the Stray Pokemon.
I think we have to pronounce it correctly. It's the Charmander.
Charmander. Chowder. Say it, Frenchie.
Charmander.
There we go.
Charmander.
Are you going for a...
The Damien terrible British, like generic British accent.
Yeah.
Where they don't know what part of Britain this guy is from.
Yeah. Because I was about to say that you accidentally stumbled upon a really good Scouser impression. Try it again.
Charmander.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You don't even need to say anything else.
Like anytime we need to say it for the rest of the episode, we'll just point to Burkbot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm up for this challenge.
Okay, fine. So it's up to you now to read along with us. Okay? Right.
Reading. Oh.
It's one word again and again and again.
James, you're forgetting she's 2 beers down. And she needs glasses. So we're going to jump in here now and see what this episode is all about. Trust me, it's not heavy at all.
No?
It's just a nice, wholesome episode about a Charmander who finds his best friend.
Of which?
Charmander.
Can you please just in the same voice say can of Coke?
No.
Oh, no, it's gone! It's just Charmander. You see, I say that because that's how you're supposed to get...
If she's a Scouser, she is a Charmander.
Then I have to do like the...
Yeah, you have to go can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
Yeah, now try it now.
Charmander.
There we go. See? now she has it. She's got it now. Right. So, let's start the show then with the narrator reminding us of Bulbasaur joining the team, which happened last week. And they're still not on track to Vermilion City. Mate, you're going to have to understand that they are never going to be on track to Vermilion City. Ash is scouting some Spearow with his binoculars as Brock checks his map going, yep, still lost his foot, Captain. Misty says it's the least of their worries, as Ash justifies being lost as a chance to catch more Pokemon. Misty obviously disagrees with this because she's got shit to do elsewhere. They've been trying to get to Vermilion City for 10 days. And she's exhausted.
Okay.
So all the last few episodes have apparently happened in 10 days. I assume.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. Brock tells her there's a bug on her back, which makes her leapfrog up to Ash's back. Impressive in animation here, by the way, because she literally does like proper frog-like motion onto the back like this. Turns out it was a blade of grass, and Brock laughs. It was actually a reed, which is not a blade of grass. Localization.
What a dick.
He's a massive dickhead here, but he also like loves it so much. Like he literally is like the heartiest laugh you'll ever hear. It's like ha 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 ha. Like you know, it's people who laugh with their teeth.
Oh yeah.
You know, like people who've never learned how to laugh naturally, so they do it wrong. So it's like
the Jurgen Klopp.
Yes, the Gurn.
Oh, I was thinking
Jürgen Klopp.
I was thinking like
He loves the Charmander.
Jürgen Klopp.
Jürgen Klopp.
Klopp. Now you have it. One more time.
Jürgen Klopp.
There you have it. So, sorry, James, carry on.
Charmander.
That fake laugh I was thinking was that Final Fantasy X had a...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was meant to be a fake laugh, though. It was just taken out of context. Like.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, why don't you just laugh at the situation? Okay, fine, I will. Ha! 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 Pretty much. That was the scene.
I thought the voice actors were drunk.
They were drunk. They were doing Final Fantasy. You have to do that. Fucking go over like 100 hours of fucking video or voice acting content. So yes, Misty is livid and Brock gets a kick to the face, which is adequate
retribution for the last week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, this is when Misty gets her funk back and doesn't stop getting abused by Brock. Which
if Misty ever kind of on screen likes someone, I hope Brock tears her a new one for it.
Yeah,
because like the amount of slagging she gave him in the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. You'd like to think so anyway, but I don't think we get to that stage because obviously Misty is just not that type of girl, you know. She's far too independent for that to be wooed by some sort of male nurse or something.
Oh God, that creepy episode. No.
Oh Lord, it's coming.
No.
You just kind of see it on the horizon like a little speck of...
That is the worst episode.
Like a pedo hitchhiker on the background, just so you can see it coming. So Yeah, so Misty's going crazy. Ash checks the map and reckons the path they're on leads to Route 24, which in turn leads to Vermilion City. Now, I don't need to tell you, boys and girls, that if you consult your Pokemon Red and Blue, that's not the path to Vermilion City.
24 is the way to Bill's house, isn't it?
Yes. They've been going the wrong way all this time.
Christ on a bike.
Yes.
Makes sense that it's been 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. Still though, 10 days on Route 24 still speaks volumes about how fucking lost they are.
Yeah.
Um,
That's that little patch of grass next to Nugget Bridge.
Pretty much, yeah. They've been trying to basically swim to Cerulean Cave to like have a fist bump with Mewtwo. That's what they've been doing as opposed to reaching Vermilion City. Like I know I've got a bad sense of direction, but at least I know my up and my down. Anyway, so Missy gets rejuvenated because, hey, we're on the right path. She walks off, steps over Brock, who's still knocked out and collecting all his teeth.
Good.
Yep. So Missy walks on, sees a shadow of something tall. Missy gets everyone else's attention as Ash reckons it's a really tall Pokemon, because we've never had them before. That like 12-foot rock snake that we had a couple of episodes. No, apart from that. Pikachu hides behind the rucksack. As they check again, they notice it's a
Charmander
on a rock plinth, and they all collapse for some reason.
It's beside a rock, so therefore it should be Brock that catches it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should be the policy.
Yeah.
But as we've turned out, Pokédex does explain what
Charmander
is all about. Ash explains he was disappointed he couldn't get one off Professor Oak, but is now excited to catch one in the wild. Missy cools his courage by saying it doesn't look healthy. Brock suggests they catch it so they can bring it to a centre, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
Or bring it back to Melanie, who should only be one episode away.
We say that, James, but they've been there for 10 days.
They'll never find it again. The hidden village has been moved because its location has been stumbled up upon.
It's been relocated to safer ground in Saffron City.
Location has been compromised. Torch it.
And the Pokemon with it. We don't care about them anymore.
I repeat, torch the Paris. It's super effective. Torch the Paris. Trust me, it's affected by a parasite. You're saving it. So yes, we notice. Then everyone notices that the
Charmander
is panting. Ash throws a Pokeball, which
Charmander
kicks back. Ash ponders if he should get Pikachu to battle it. Maybe that's all. Maybe the whole point of Pokemon
This thing is on death's door.
Yeah.
I should kick it and then try again.
Well, they don't know it's at death's door. They just realise it looks a bit tired or something. Although, in fairness, the Pokédex does explain the fire, the tail is basically its health bar, and the smaller it is, the more in danger it is. So Missy suggests she should because she's got water Pokemon. Brock suggests caution as he's the one that actually listens to the Pokédex here. He suggests maybe not try and battle it because he tries to direct her attention to the size of
Charmander
fire on the tail. Ash throws another ball and is more successful. However,
Charmander
still breaks free. Brock remarks it has a lot of spunk, while Missy thinks it has an attitude problem. You can already see the difference in Pokemon training habits there. Brock actually wants to encourage personality, where Missy wants
Misty's
obedience.
taking an AJ's approach to this.
Yeah, she's actually the one person that learned everything from that episode. Yeah. We haven't seen it yet, but Starmie's in that fucking metal brace. They'll even pointier than last time. Whatever the noises it makes.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pikachu walks up to the rock and pops up, goes hello. So we get some Pokemon banter between the two. Pikachu tries to explain what's going on. So we have another little episode of Pokemon charades. So they try to figure out, and the realization is that the
Charmander
is waiting for someone on that rock.
Yeah.
So Brock suggests to leave it be for the trainer to come back, which is in theory is quite sporting because you can't catch another Pokemon or trainers
Pokemon. Yeah.
It's a bit foolish. So yeah, they do exactly what it is. So the trio walk away as the
Charmander
pines, which is actually kind of sad. It's
Yeah.
So Misty leads the way then and notices the Pokemon Center, confirming that they're on Route 24 because how else would they have a Pokemon Center in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
It starts raining heavily as the three run into the centre. We cut to the
Charmander
still sitting out in the rain, clutching a leaf for shelter with the flame only barely lit.
Yeah.
Now, be honest, lads. Did your heart break in this one?
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah,
This is the part where your heart breaks.
Yeah.
Because it is literally just it's actually barely clinging onto the fucking leaf, I truly believe that scene of watching the Charmander just begging like for its life while like holding a leaf is some sort of psychopath test. If you do not feel any emotion in that, have a fucking word with yourself. And at least check yourself into some form of mental institution and get yourself fixed. Because if you feel nothing about that, we're not on speaking terms anymore, okay? Right? Are we all agreed on that? Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. So, the trio are having some soup as Brock ponders if anyone has picked up the
Charmander.
And is worried the trainer left it there. Ash thinks the trainer surely picked it up by now and reassures Brock, which Brock goes, okay, and then just ducks into a soup.
Yeah.
So they hear chuckling from elsewhere, and they see a group of trainers with a big pile of balls on the table, which is appropriate wording from me because they're all horribly impotent, I hope. The group seem to be admiring a British accented trainer called Damien. It's weird, he's kind of got this weird kind of British accent that people put on every now and then in cartoons.
But it isn't really from anywhere in particular, so it's kind of Liverpool and it's kind of Birmingham.
It's kind of Birmingham, it's kind of got elements of everything really.
Yeah, bit of London.
Bit of David Beckham maybe. A bit of Caroline Ahern thrown in there as well.
It's real high pitch for a man as well.
That's because he got his balls cut off when he was 5. That's why he abuses Pokémon in his spare time. So
James is hating this.
Yeah. James,
do you know what? I love this as well. Like, he's not hating it because of the animal cruelty. He's not hating it because of someone called Damien. It's the Britishness he hates.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We're just appropriating.
Dumbfounded you're doing this, and it's disgusting.
We all know, like, if you want to really annoy James, all you have to do is just talk in a British accents for every now and then. Just every now and then. Just talk all royal and see how it goes. So one of them seems to think that he had a Charmander at one point. But I don't think that's how it's pronounced. Is it called a
Charmander?
Charmander, that's what it's called, yeah. So he snapped back saying that he had one, but it was too weak.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So the trio overhear this and don't like his attitude much. So Brock clarifies that
Charmander
can be weak to water Pokemon, but can be strong regardless with the right training. Apart from the rock and the ground types, and apart from that, they're fine. So the guy that asks Damien what he did with the
Charmander,
Damien says he left it on a rock in the woods. And he says it was so stupid it would follow him everywhere, and finally got rid of it by promising it he'll come back for him.
Horrible prick.
Yes. Like, at least with AJ, we kind of argued the toss about him being like a tough love kind of guy, as in like he actually did. He was like there was a method to his harshness. This guy is a confirmed cunt.
Yeah.
And we can lock that in.
And there is something to be like what was Ash's rival in the Gen 4 series? I think it was Paul, and he was a bit of a dick about needs to have good IVs, needs to have the right nature.
Yeah.
Like it needs to take off this and this before I'll consider training it. And Ash had the attitude of, I'll love anything no matter how many times it acts like Tina.
Yes. It defaults to Tina. Yeah.
But so again, that he would have been like AJ and would have been tough love trainer, would have been okay, I caught it, it's not worth my time, I'm just going to toss it away.
Yeah. Like AJ,
difference in tossing it away and assumingly releasing it and here's a great story, lads.
Yeah.
I abandoned my dog.
Oh, you had to be there. Like it was so funny because he kept crying and everything. I was like, great times. But it's the thing, like at least with AJ, we could have said it was a remark on like what Pokemon trainers in the games are typically like.
I just actually hate now. I know I'm cutting across it, but I'm actually just getting really annoyed about it, thinking about it. It's like how the others are sitting around while Damien is telling them this, going, "Oh, you're so great. That's a great idea. Oh my god!"
It's locker talk.
If you turn around and said, "Oh lads, I abandoned a box of puppies in an estate," no, everyone would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
There'd be no one going, "Oh, that's a great idea. A load of kids can find the abandoned dying puppies. That'd be great crack." True story.
You said you wouldn't bring that up.
I know, but I'm too upset about it. I was one of those kids who found a box of dying puppies.
We really should have done this episode with her.
Who's that Pokemon?
I've never heard someone so meekly say that before. Please cut to the ad break. So yeah, like obviously Damon's a prick and he's gonna get his fucking head kicked in at some point in his life. Maybe he gets stabbed in the kidneys outside of London somewhere.
Do you think his name was an accent? Damien being like a son of the devil, like the Omen films.
I don't know if that translates in Japanese culture or not.
I mean, this isn't in Japanese. This is
yeah,
English.
it's localization maybe. Yeah, I see your point.
So maybe the person who was translating it was like, this guy's a cunt.
Mm.
What's the most cuntish name that I can think of?
I don't know, I would have gone with Boris or Trump myself, but whatever.
We can retcon it.
We can fix it in post. So yeah, shockingly, like you said, he laughs at the thought of it still being there for him, which leads the other boys to laugh with him. Again, just think about that, like, as Burtbot said, like, if someone was sharing that story with you, if you're laughing along, you also need to have a word with yourself, because that's obviously not on, and naturally, they're there so like our people can go like, this guy is going to get shafted. So yeah, the trio obviously realise he's
Charmander.
His trainer. Brock stands up and confronts the group. Again, it's nice to see Brock being the adult going like, right, I'm going to kick a little shit's head in.
Yeah.
Which I think if anyone like in the same situation, you're hearing like, oh yeah, I abused a dog last night. Oh really? It's time to break your leg, so.
Yeah.
and I think everyone can agree on that. So he stands up, confronts a group. One remarks that it'll probably wag its tail so much it'll put its flame out. Which is like, what is that fuck?
God.
Like again, like, okay, like obviously maybe he's the guy who like takes the banter too far, but even then, that's just like, like everyone's like, they just like he like Damien's chuckling at the idea, like, yeah, he's probably gonna starve to death. I'm gonna die alone. Brock grabs Damien and tells him to go and get
Charmander,
telling him it's still waiting for him. Damien asks him, why should I? You know, I don't like it. You know, it's only one of the best Pokemon in the game. Fuck off. You know, this is why Damien's a prick, right? He literally has a Charmander, a Pokemon that literally Ash like is desperate to get.
Yeah.
And he goes, fuck it. Do you know who else I have? I don't know. It doesn't tell. The show doesn't tell me what other Pokemon I have. Let's just assume they're cool. You know, maybe it could be like one of those idiots that's been.
He's got a load of Rattata.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Ash did say there was nothing but Spearows to be seen at the start of the episode.
he's catching all the fucking Spearows.
Yeah.
He's trying to corner the market, the prick. Yeah, that's what it is.
His hair kind of looks like Spearows attacked it.
No, that's because he's just mangy. You know. By the way, he also has.
He is a Brit, in fairness.
Yeah. I was about to make a remark is if you wanted to hate this character more, look at the way he was dressed.
Yeah.
He's got what leather pants. You got the leather pants. He had fucking he's wearing a weird vest, like kind of weird cravat thing. Mm-hmm. The hair, the fucking colour shirt as well, the boots. And this guy looked like a colossal bellend in every possible way. So like there was no way someone could misinterpret this like message of don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Essentially.
This guy is just gonna be a cunt.
Yes, exactly. So Brock tells him off for lying to his Pokemon, and if its flame goes out, it'll die. And Damien goes like, so? Or like more like a case of like, no you, basically. It's like saying, Damien says, it's not Brock's business what he does, and Ash backs Brock up. Missy calls him disgusting, and Damien calls Ash a nerd for piping up.
He doesn't call him a nerd, he goes, nerd! Nerd!
Well, Pikachu has its fist up, so it's like, oh, you like abusing Pokemon? We'll try and abuse it.
Why, yeah.
And some of this, and this, and some of that.
So Damien grabs a Pokeball as the angle for a Pokemon battle, but Nurse Joy interjects and says Pokemon should never be in personal fights.
It's literally all they've been used
That's
for
what
so far.
they've been doing, Nurse Joy.
Yeah. No, you're not supposed to care about the outcome.
Oh, right,
You're not supposed to care about the person you're fighting with.
Of course.
If I disagree with you, I fight you.
It has to be sporting, exactly.
Yeah.
It can't be it can't be for a bad blood.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that now. So Damien's crew walks off and grabs all the balls, which is, presumably they don't have any of themselves. Joy suggests
his voice is very high, like I
Bet
said.
you those are empty balls.
Yeah. I'll say they are. Like, they're totally... Because I'm going, look at all the Pokemon we have, look. See? They're in the... Well, why don't you get one out? No, they're...
Maybe he has no Pokemon, and... Like he actually he's much worse trainer than Ash, so just abandons the Charmander because he just can't handle it.
Maybe that's probably it. Like
we do know from the future that Charmander and his evolutions are quite prickish.
They are. They're very temperamental. Very much like a result of their upbringing, it seems.
Yes.
You know, the leather pants were a giveaway, though. In fairness, but But yeah, so they walk off. Joy suggests that they don't get involved with Damien's crew as they have a very bad reputation. Something about abandoning Pokemon, leaving them for dead, is a bad reputation. It's funny how that works, isn't it? So Joy walks off as Brock blushes and swoons. Ash calls it a joyful world. Oh. And then they go, sorry, the joyful world. Oh, yeah. So we just have to do something there. I can't remember what it was. Oh, save Charmander from dying in the rain. That's what it is. Yes. So yes, they snap out of it.
And they run out with Nurse Joy to make sure that it gets immediate attention, right?
So they snap Brock out of it and reminding him about
Charmander.
Ash, Brock and Misty runs into the storm in raincoats as Misty worries that it's risky going out in weather like this. She's worried she'll catch pneumonia. Misty, there's more important things going on here, Misty.
Water's her specialty.
Exactly. No, rain isn't her specialty. Water is. Rain is not. Critical difference, right?
That's lots of little waters, where she likes little lots of waters.
There you have it. Yes.
Little lots of waters.
There's your episode title, Rick. Thank you very much. Ash retorts that, but Misty says they need to help a Pokemon in need. So she immediately forgets, fuck the pneumonia. Come on, we're having fun. Shockingly,
Charmander
is still hanging in there as groups of eyes stalk it from the grass, and it's a flock of Spearow who attack it.
Great band name. I have to say that again.
Yeah.
And I ran so far away from the flock of Spearow.
From a Charmander. So they start floating around. So they're trying to kill off the Charmander. They sense a weakness. So they peck him, they scratch him, and like Charmander's just taking the hits here. Like he is literally just letting it happen because
they're just like heat source right here.
But this is the thing. Like the reason he's not attacking is because he's holding onto the leaf.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't hold onto the leaf, then the fire will blow out. So he's dead anyway. That's the way you're like again depressingly the way you're looking at it. He's either going to get pecked to death or the fire goes out. Like it's literally just a choice of one or the other.
Yeah.
The a rock is flung by Ash just from out of background, and like a Spearow gets drawn away. It attacks Ash, which Brock swats away.
Ash loves throwing pebbles at Spearow.
He does,
this
doesn't
is
he?
where like the safari thing came in. Just like fuck throw rock.
Yeah. Hello.
Actually, not the safari zone yet.
You didn't see that, by the way, but like Burkbot had this kind of like throw like keyboard movement, just like for like fuck throw rock, as if she was one of the programmers. Like. You let me out there for Safari Zone, fucking throw rock, whatever, man. I don't fucking care. This is a job.
That's exactly what I was imagining.
It's like someone like a Japanese Burkbot was left to design the Safari Zone. It's like, I don't know, I don't care. Oh, fucking Scyther, good for you. Bait, fucking throw rock ball, run, who cares? I'm bored.
Bored now.
Yeah, we're gonna have it. Fucking Nidoran? I don't know, dude. Shut up. Leave me alone. I don't care. Kangaskhan. It's like, can I ask you? No, I don't ask you asking Kangaskhan. Just give me a chancey. Fuck you.
Throw rock.
Like Burma's just in the corner just playing her own like fucking like text adventure. It's like throw rock. You died.
Throw rock again.
I'd never let her play the Scribble Knots.
No, that'd be a bad idea. Literally everything would die from rocks.
Avalanche.
Yeah. So yes, Pikachu then uses a Thunder Shock, which is very much boosted by the thunderstorm. Gets a plus 3 damage. Zaps everything in sight, including Ash, Misty, and Brock, which happens all the time. So they really should be used to it by now, really. They climb the rock. Brock and Ash cover the
Charmander
with their raincoats, and they went to the Pokemon Center. They storm in as Joy says, "There's not much time."
Maybe they should have brought her with them.
Would have been a good idea, but I mean, have you ever seen a nurse right outside the Pokemon Center?
Yeah, in is it Sword and Shield? Not in Sword and Shield, in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Where she gives you sass if you talk to her outside the centre.
Yes.
She's like standing in the balcony over the battle arena.
Well, you remember that's like 20 years into the future. Like they haven't developed. It's like the Doctor out of Star Trek Voyager. He's a hologram. He can't step outside the sick bay. Joyce is saying they're all holograms. Like they can't step outside yet. You know. But yes. So we'll check back with Charmander shortly. But first, we have an outbreak.
Who's that Pokemon?
Who's
that Pokemon?
So yes, I'm sure you know the rules by now, lads. One of us has a mystery Pokemon for the other two of us to discover.
Yes.
James, you are comfortably in the lead. 19, 13, 10.
Yep.
You cannot be caught in this round.
Yep.
So it's up to you.
So it's up to me to make this as difficult for both of you as I can.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I will say before this, I was going to be an absolute bollocks and go with like an Alolan form to give you.
Which we wouldn't have allowed.
You wouldn't have. I figured that. I
No,
figured
you know why?
that,
Because Alolan forms are Generation 7.
They're
James.
Generation 1 Pokemon.
Shut up, the Generation 7. They didn't exist in the cartoon. It's not in the Poker app. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
So, I've taken this off the Pokemon Home decks.
Yep.
And this is one of the original 151.
Good. That is the only rule I asked you for, James.
So, with superhuman strength, it's able to throw 100 people all at the same time. Its strength comes from lifting Graveler every day. And I think it's Jonathan first since Burke got to 10 points.
I have, you see, I'm torn between two options here.
Go.
So I'm going to just go out for it here and say Machamp.
Burkbot.
Machoke.
These are both wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
The next clue, it is 75% male, 25% female.
Oh.
So if you breed it, if it hatches out of an egg, 3/4 of the time it'll be a male.
It's curious because that used to be the old starter ratios, but they fixed that now.
No, that's 87%.
Yeah, it was 87% male once upon a time.
Yeah. Jonathan?
You see, like, I'm not sure if I'm like wholly married to it because I would have said Machamp, it Machop either way. So I don't know if I'm kind of willing to go Machop instead, or switch to another. I'm still kind of thinking it's a fighting type anyway.
Fair enough.
And like I'm kind of limited on options there. I would have thought for something like Primeape, the entry would have been a bit more like different, you know.
Grand.
I can't see it being anything else in that kind of group because it would have been like, you know, the Hitmons would have had their own entry too. So tough one.
Poliwrath?
No, I wouldn't. I think.
Why would you be giving us the answer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, I could get the Dex entry again there. Could I just indulge myself again?
Sure. Sorry. Sorry. Defaulted to another one of the gens. So let me.
Yeah. Take your time.
Tinker with it. Dead air.
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
Dead air, dead air,
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
With its superhuman strength, it's able to throw 100 people all at the same time. Its strength comes from lifting Graveler every day.
See, I'm still inclined to say it's a fighting type. But I'm also swayed that I can argue also, you can also see the argument that it could be a rock or ground type too. You know, that's the trouble. John, fuck, I'm just gonna go with Primeape.
Burkbot?
Onyx.
These are both wrong.
Fuck.
It is... Okay, I'm going to give this. I'm not sure if you'll accept this as a clue.
Okay.
Or maybe you'll say, fuck that, give us a better clue.
Yeah, alright, we'll see it first.
It is known as the superpower Pokemon.
Generation 1?
Yes. Now, I can give you another one at no cost, because I don't think that helps you too much.
Fuck, this is annoying, because I thought I know what this was. This is gonna do you know what the last thing is? This is gonna really, really annoy me once I get it. Because I know it's the one Pokemon I haven't fucking mentioned yet, and it's not kicking in.
Okay.
Shit. I'm rattling through the fucking Pokedex now to try and get it.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Monkey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know? It really is. Ooh.
The superpower
Pokemon.
Superpower Pokemon.
Superpower Pokemon. Probably not Weedle.
I highly doubt
On that one,
Throwing
I don't
100
think...
people at the same time.
Yes.
Like, fucking Graveler bit is just a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of day job do they have that they all pick up a Graveler and throw 100 of them?
This is why the whole the match-up thing has fucked me up.
Yeah.
You know?
He's fucking loving this.
I am.
Like, I can only go for match-up. Match-up is the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, just... I'm drawing a blank here, unfortunately.
I had something that wasn't Weedle, but now I can think of Weedle.
Are you going to go with Weedle?
No.
Okay.
Throwing Gravelers.
Yes.
So you'd expect it has arms.
Yes. That, I think, would be a minimum requirement.
It throws 100 people. It lifts Gravelers every day. Doesn't say it throws
Oh,
Gravelers.
son of a bitch.
Do you want to change your answer?
Ah.
I'll let you change.
No, because now I know Machop is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you both know Machop's wrong.
Please, are
No, I think I kind of have an idea, but
I'll let you go.
fucking Alakazam.
Lapras.
Yes, you're both wrong.
How many points is this going to be
This
worth?
is going to be worth 2 points now.
Two now if you get it.
Yeah.
It has 3 abilities, 2 regular and 1 hidden.
Okay.
Its regular abilities are Guts and No Guard. Its hidden ability is Steadfast.
Fucking match-up.
Golem.
It's Machop.
Yeah. I should have gone with me gut 2 fucking turns ago.
Should have gone with your Guts.
Yeah, I should have. I'm so annoyed because when I said that the 100, what threw me off, right, was the Graveler thing, because my only mental image was a Machamp literally juggling Gravelers with 4 arms, because how could you not say that's so fucking awesome as a dex entry, right? So I immediately thought, like, fuck, I could have gone for that. And then when you said lifts and then 100 people, I was thinking, okay, so I could power it, whatever. But then, yeah. So I double guessed myself there on 3 different...
Yes, you did.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Anyway, that's 2 points for me.
Oh, you're still in last.
Still last. That's terrible. That's terrible. Anyway, let's get back onto the show, lads, shall we? And ignore that embarrassment. So, our second half starts with Joy checking on, what's his name?
Charmander.
In the bed. Its tail lifted by a tiny stool, which I think is really cute.
Yeah, very cute.
Isn't it? Because it's like they're actual like custom-made stools.
It would have to be like coated in something that is fireproof.
Yeah, like lacquered or something like that. Yeah.
Remember as a kid, I just thought, why don't they just like start fecking twigs and stuff like that at the tail? That'll make it healthier.
Just the tail is a sign of fire.
The tail is a sign of how healthy it is, so just feed the fire.
Petroleum down the Charmander's throat.
Yes.
Yes. I think we had this talk about doping Pokemon before.
Yeah.
And I think that is banned over certain ways. Yeah. But
save its life, surely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I'm just okay. Which looks more like funnier for a cartoon? Force feeding a Charmander petrol when it's not ready for it, or a tiny little stool for its little tail?
I know which one I would have wanted to watch.
And the answer is the tiny stool.
Yes.
So, Joy chastises him for his poor condition, but actually explains that it's actually Damien's Pokemon, and he abandoned it. Because clearly Joy was not listening into the conversation that the whole Pokemon Center was happening just 10 minutes ago. So, Ash tells Joy the story, and Joy understands. Brock pleads on a deeply emotional level, because, Stiffy, to help save...
Charmander.
Which she says she'll do whatever she can.
It wasn't his pleading, it is her literal job.
Yes. Brock, you rest assured I'm contractually obliged to save this Pokemon.
You continuously pleading with me is delaying me getting back to the care this Charmander needs.
So, well, Joy, you seem to have nailed down the pronunciation of the Pokemon perfectly. I've been hearing a lot in the last few days. So, Ash, Brock and Misty are waiting outside the operation room where Joy is healing Charmander. We see kind of like bits and bobs of what she's doing.
Sorry, you mean Charmander?
I do mean Charmander, apologies.
Sorry.
So they keep waiting and waiting as the storm rolls on. Brock is keeping
Charmander
in his thoughts. The light above the door goes off as the trio await Joy from the door, who confirms it'll be alright.
Woo!
She says it'll be fine by morning. So, morning comes, and Ash and Misty are asleep in the Pokemon Center. They're disturbed by Brock, who tells them to get up. He says that
Charmander
disappeared from the ER, curiously enough. Joy stands by an open window as Ash thinks it went back to the rock to wait for Damien. Brock says that they have to go back, but Misty is more resigned, saying they can't do anything about
Charmander
wanting to go back to Damien, even if he's a line creeping, cunty bastard fucking ass bandit with shit leather pants and a stupid haircut and a shit accent, and I hope he gets HIV and all these other things. I don't know if it comes across, lads, but we all hate Damien. Nobody likes Damien, not even his parents. So Joy agrees until
Charmander
realises the truth, and curiously enough, we do actually see
Charmander
walking up the path, but turns back to the Pokemon Center as a little guy like, oh, I don't know, maybe change your mind.
Do I go back? No, no, I'm legally obliged to go back to this rock.
Yes. I love as well, like, I don't know why like they kind of drew like this, but Charmander has a kind of weird way of walking. It's like it's his legs, it's kind of like, like it makes it look fatter than he actually is. Yeah. But he's just unstable on his legs, like he's like
waddling.
Yeah. This Ash and everyone decides to just head off themselves the opposite way. But Brock was kind of hoping that we'd see the difference, but Ash fobs him off, going like, yeah, Pokemon, what can you do? Missy gets him back moving with a tap on the head, just like, dunk, let's go, let's move on. And now Team Rocket. Hey, remember them?
They haven't been around
They haven't been around at all, yeah.
So don't think they should have even been in this episode.
No, they shouldn't have been. So, we cut to them with a contraption, some sort of machine with a claw on one side and a satellite on the other.
Yeah.
Clearly they've spent all episode building this fucking monstrosity.
Yeah.
So they go do their motto along with a dance routine. Meowth cuts in as they claim that they have a foolproof system to catch Pikachu, and the contraption, would you believe, is called an automatic high-speed super duper whatchamacallit.
Ashwa.
Yeah, I think that's how they trademarked it, because whatchamacallit is actually trademarked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In fact, we actually owe royalties to somebody for calling it a whatchamacallit. So every time I keep saying that, I owe them $5.
Okay,
stop saying it.
Stop saying what? Whatchamacallit?
It's not going to
I own the
patent.
Woo!
So they started with they've started with some sort of like console, like a little press button, and it shifts around until a drill appears and strikes the ground. So perhaps this is what they've been using all this time, and
to make those pitfalls.
Yeah, and it's just been off screen. So Meow claims that this hasn't worked before, but the other two explained, if at first you don't succeed, this time just remember where the hole is. Which is
words to live by.
Words to live by, outstanding dating advice. I'm sure you'll all agree.
That's someone's Tinder bio.
Or at least it will be now. And there's a picture of just like of him with like a red rose, just like with a big R in the background. So they create the pitfall as Meowth is worried they'll forget what the trap is, but they hand wave it, obviously saying that they're too smart for that, even though it's happened twice already in the show. Meowth sees Ash kind of come up the path as they escape into the bushes. Jessie gets a contraption into reverse into the trees and park up.
That was a cool animation. I did lol at that.
Yeah. The fact that you like kind of turn around and then you see like Ash and everyone kind of walking into shot as well.
Yeah.
Not realising this massive metal box is hiding in the trees. With legs is hiding in the trees. You know, it's kind of good. So they get excited then as they get closer to the pitfall. Pikachu walks across it. Obviously no problem because Pikachu's too light to trigger it.
Yep.
So they start bickering between themselves until Meowth slashes him to stay quiet because Meowth realises how weight works.
Yeah.
Or mass in this case, of course. Ash stops as he hears a noise and the other two do so. The ground collapses underneath him and leaves Pikachu on its own. See?
So does this count as Ash falling into a trap?
Yeah,
yes.
It does. Like his foot literally went through the dirt, so I think that does count, I'm afraid. Again, all part of the massive plan because the pitfall was too light for Pikachu to trigger, but human size, bam, everyone falls in. Because obviously they knew they were all going to be grouped together nice and tightly, so, you know, perfect. So Pikachu looks in as on the knockout trainers.
Pikachu.
I was hoping no one would notice that, but here we are. So Pikachu turns to see...
You have to call Pikachu for the rest of the episode.
I do not have to
Change
do that.
your proof!
No, that's not how this works. This is not a democracy.
James agrees.
Fuck James, this isn't a democracy. So
Pikachu?
Shut up, you. Jims. So Pikachu turns to see...
Pikachu?
I'm not doing this. Pikachu turns
Pikachu?
to see Team Rocket in hazmat suits It tries to zap them, but the suit's a rubber and won't
Wait,
conduct
what tries to
electricity.
adapt them? What
Team
Pokemon?
Rocket.
A yellow electric mouse.
Pikachu.
No, Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Oh, I'm gonna throw you out of my house.
Coronavirus.
Did you mean to say that as Ringo Starr? Was that just another one of your impressions?
I'm just full of great impressions of people.
Really? Yeah.
Great.
So,
Pikachu.
James says that you need to be rocket scientists to outsmart them. Team rocket scientists, they say, because apparently they're smarter. So Jessie says that they're called anti-Pikachu suits, and says that they're not her colour, which is obviously the main objection she has here.
Yeah.
They're basically just hazmat suits, so there's something else to them. Meowth interjects saying that to get the Pikachu and
Pikachu?
go. So Pikachu runs away,
Pikachu?
as James says to use the anti-Pikachu
Pikachu?
rubber balloon bazooka, which I think is also trademarked. See, I'm not selling this.
I did watch that and I thought, okay, are the Pokemon company going to come out with like a toy bazooka after this?
Yeah, they have like a range of Jessie and James dolls with accessories.
I kind of did think they're lining this up, you know, in the same way like Power Rangers had that, or
Yeah.
you know, everything that you see here you can buy a toy of. And it's like, no, there wasn't a Pikachu bazooka.
No, of course there wasn't. Why would there be one?
Pikachu, that's another new one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all of these new ones here. Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu.
It's amazing what you can do if you change one vowel. just a world of exploration for Pokemon, like, or Pokemon as they were called now. That's a very different show.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a very different show though. So they fire it and a big red balloon floats over and follows Pikachu wherever it runs to. I know it's aping some kind of movie. I can't remember what it is. You know, the kind of floating white ball.
Oh yeah, didn't Simpsons take a piss stick out of
Simpsons
that?
did it,
Yeah, everyone does it because it's so fucking weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, like, I'm not a movie buff, so people are shouting at me right now with the right answer. So
It's like the koala island when he's trapped on the island.
Yes,
The
yeah, that's it.
See
island.
you on the island.
Well, yeah,
It's probably
I
the
really
island.
wanna know.
yeah, it's, the Simpsons did it. Point notwithstanding. So the balloon envelops Pikachu, which tries to shock
Hans
it.
Moleman
but
got
no
caught in
luck.
that, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Yeah, and he goes. Ah! So Ash has regained consciousness and calls out for Pikachu, which is a shame because it's called Pikachu apparently. Ash tries to climb out of the trap but can't, and he urges the other two to get up. To which Misty replies, "We can't because you're standing on us," which is a shame.
Why didn't he just like Brock use Onyx to get them out?
Again, there's a lot of unthinking happening here. Like, literally, could you imagine that? It's like Brock just went, "Oh yeah, shit, 10-foot snake, I forgot that."
Yeah.
And literally was like,
Here, Geodude, throw me out.
yeah, no, just Onyx just like, you imagine that happens, like the pitfall happens and a second later the Onyx pops out going, "Excuse me." Just literally just headbutt the cunts away, like, it's great. There's your fucking fix there, lads.
And now there's your problem. If they have a 10-foot snake, they now need to dig an 11-foot hole.
Oh yes, of course. They always learn from their mistakes there, lads, I have to say. So yeah, exactly. They Jessie thanks him for dropping in. James reassures him that Pikachu is safe with them because he's just there in like the red balloon going like, oh. Just like curses. We've actually, the one episode he's been caught. You know, it only took him 10 attempts. So they go to walk off, but Charmander appears and stands in their way, which is kind of like, you know, he's got the big boy kind of shoulders, like a little like 6-year-old who wants a fight, huffs his chest up.
Yeah.
It's like, so Jessie doesn't know what that is. As Meowth explains, it's saying to give Pikachu back to those guys.
Yeah.
You know, simple commands, simple order. I wonder will Team Rocket follow it. Unfortunately not, because James calls it a firebug and tells it to move out of the way.
Charmander.
Bulks up and Team Rocket stands curious over what it's trying to do.
Charmander.
Lets out a massive fire attack. A big fuck off flamethrower. And singes Team Rocket, who drop the balloon and run away. James reinforces his claim that they needed fireproof uniforms instead. Damien appears in the bushes and doesn't believe
Charmander
beat them. So that's Team Rocket running off for another episode. Which is where we come in, because it's now time to figure out what should Rocket do.
They should just
Kneecap
leave.
Damien.
just leave as soon as they get Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. The scenario is this, right? So we have Ash, Misty, and Brock floating around the Pokemon Center, where they've helped, what's his name?
Charmander.
Back to full health. And the
Charmander.
has left the center and presumably is going back to the rocks to wait for Damien. Team Rocket lie in wait with a range of new tools that kidnap Pikachu. So, how would you, if you had the tools at your disposal, how would you get Pikachu in this situation?
Okay, I would be an absolute cynical prick. I would kidnap the Charmander and ransom it back to Ash.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm a heartless prick in this case.
No, that's a decent strategy because that would probably work.
Or I'd isolate Brock and tell Brock to kidnap the Pikachu, since Brock cares the most about Charmander.
So you're trying to use his emotional guilt against him. Okay, right. Okay. So kidnap Charmander. That's a good one. What I was going to do is I was going to set up a trap with using the Charmander in that situation.
Okay.
Where because Team Rocket have been kind of they're out and about, so if they actually scouted like they have been in the last few episodes, they'd realise what the scat's going on with the Charmander. They'd read what's going on with Damien, with the Charmander, with Ash.
They set up the trap in a location after where Ash and them had been.
Yes.
So their trap, they had no reason to think it would work.
No reason to know, yeah. So, but you see, they knew that they were there, right? But
in the general area.
In the general area, but they didn't actually target the centre. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they said. They could have used that to their disposal. So what I would do is on the morning after, right, when Charmander comes back onto the rock, I would basically have Team Rocket hiding behind the rock, and basically when everyone comes in, bum rush, take the Pikachu and go.
Okay.
Yep.
Basically, just because they know the Charmander is they're going to go looking after the Charmander, right? So again, maybe going to give them a lure, give you some reason to go. Maybe Charmander screams out in pain or whatever it is. So you might some sort of smoke, maybe something like that, like a smoke screen, because again, that's something that Charmander does. That will bring that brings them their attention back to Charmander, and then suddenly they see Charmander on the rock. Everything seems fine, and then Team Rocket are there. Smoke screen, take the Pikachu, off you pop.
Okay. My one is that they should go into the Pokemon Center itself. With maybe feign an injury to Meowth to bring him in, and just go over to Damien where he's left all the balls on the table and just take them.
Yeah. But again, we don't know what's in them.
I think
it's a bit of a lottery,
But look, you've got at least more Pokeballs.
That's true. You can sell them on for $5 each, I guess.
Instead of going around trying to control Pokeballs at them.
Yeah.
And, catch more Pokemon.
So, whose idea do we like?
I do like Shaft and Damien. Just generally like the idea.
I did start my idea off with first the kneecap Damien.
Yeah, okay, obviously, yeah, that goes without saying. I do like the idea of kidnapping Charmander too. That is a very it's a very callous one, but it would work in this situation because things would still be raw over a Pokemon nearly dying.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Team Rocket go haha, what happens? I don't know. Anyway, do you want the Charmander back? And Charmander for Pikachu, straight trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm inclined to say the kidnapping the Charmander would be.
I think I'll go with that as well.
Yeah, the most sinister one for Team Rocket to do. Woo! Hooray!
I'm happy.
Hooray for cynical bastards! Hooray! So Brock is the last to climb out the pitfall as it thanks
Charmander
for its help. Missy gets prideful that she was right about wanting to come back. Ash formally asks if wants to come with them instead of his old trainer. At which point Damien appears saying he's been looking all over for him. Oh wow, how convenient that is. He says he's here to get
Charmander
back because just like he promised. And shockingly,
Charmander
looks around worried. Brock gets in
Charmander's
ear saying he's apparently abandoned it before. Damien replies by saying it's his. That's a solid argument, that is.
It's just mine.
It's
just
mine.
mine.
You can't
just
have
his.
it. Fine.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up, man. Yeah, I'm going to batter you, mate. He's just there like a shitty fucking 12-year-old Millwall fan. I'm going to batter you, mate. I'm going to meet you around the bins and fucking kick your head in. Maybe that was the motivation for his character, I think. Stupid football fan.
Yeah.
So
which they then bring in the later games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're keeping the culture there, So Ash says he bragged about leaving it behind and he's unapologetic about it, saying he toughened them up and sees no problem in leaving weak Pokemon behind. Shit's about to kick off. So that's the thing that's the straw that breaks the Charmander's back. So that sways him. Damien explains why he wasn't going to come back for it, and it's grateful for them showing up as they trained it for him because he didn't want to do it himself. So they conflict over whether training is the best or most boring part of the job. Brock basically calls him a cunt for it because he is. Missy pleads for not to go back to it. Damien commands him to return as he throws a ball, but just in the nick of time,
Charmander
smacks it back into his face, which was great. Damien goes to throw all his Pokeballs at
Charmander,
but Charmander breathes fire at him. Pikachu joins in with an electric attack. So not only does is he singed, but he's also fucking static as well.
I think he should be kneecapped too while we're at it.
I think that happens after.
which would be the best Pokemon for kneecapping?
Primate.
Seadra. Sniper.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Yeah, Sniper.
Or a champ, if like 1,000 punches every second.
Oof, yeah. Or just Snorlax, just squash the bastard. Like you'd be definitely kneecapped if you have a fucking massive
They
ton
just
weight.
pop off as he hits you.
Yeah, exactly. Just pew.
Alakazam just like
Oh, that'd be good.
Remotely.
That'd be good. Just like he's there like 5 feet away, just going like. He's just got the spoon.
Yeah.
Right? And he just bends the spoon as your knee slowly fucking torques.
Oh, and your ACL's just going.
Man, Alakazam is in the Ra, lads. Holy shit. Never thought I'd see the day.
I love our theories.
Yes. What do you mean theories? Man,
These are fact.
it's a oh, this is fact. So Damien runs off crying for his mother. A happy end to the story.
Yeah.
So
Charmander
turns as Brock offers it to him. Ash isn't sure about it, but Brock reassures him, saying he was the one to keep its tail lit. You know, like Ash didn't really care that much. You know, like
He
Brock
was just gonna
yeah.
leave it. I think it should have been Brock's.
I know in the later seasons they give one of the starters to each of the characters that are on the adventure. So like Ash, Dawn, and whoever else was on the
some
adventure.
other prick, yeah.
They each got one of the starters. I think that should have been what was done here. So
Same.
Bulbasaur should have gone to Ash, Charmander to Brock. Since it was on a rock.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. It was on a rock.
Yeah, can't tell me it didn't happen.
And Squirtle would be Misty's by default, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's water type as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I would have argued that Bulbasaur should have gone to Misty.
Why?
Well, he was drinking water.
Yeah, and water is their specialty.
Well, the Oddish was drinking water, which was near the Bulbasaur.
Yes. And she always wanted to catch a grass type, so you know.
So why would you think Misty would be better with the Bulbasaur than the Squirtle?
It tackled her, so it chose her.
Yeah.
It could have tackled Ash, but maybe it
It
just
also
didn't see
tackled
it.
Ash.
But shitely, because
Yeah.
it wasn't like,
Well, like,
I think the level of tackle went with how much it considered them a trainer.
There is a big difference between a tackle and a nudge. You know?
I do think Bulbasaur is stubborn enough to like not back down when he's absolutely in the wrong.
Therefore, it's the perfect
he
Pokemon for
belongs
Misty.
with Ash. No, he belongs with Ash because Ash will run into a wall full force.
Yeah, I think you're forgetting stubborn with stupid, right? So like,
No, I'm good.
so like Misty is stubborn, right? Because she won't leave Ash alone about the bike. Ash is stupid, right? Stubborn might come with it as well, but that's because of a lack of a brain, right? Misty's personality is stubborn, right? So if you're gonna match up the Pokemon that way, like Brock is obviously the caring type, so it'll immediately match up with Charmander, who needs love, right? Nailed on, bang on, right? You want Misty to have like personalities similar to her because then otherwise like nothing else goes on. So she'll go for fucking Bulbasaur. Whereas I think the most natural match there is Ash and Squirtle because they actually, as we find in the later episode, they work together. They actually find some sort of like kind of actual friendship there. Whereas the other two, like Charmander was kind of like Ash saved him, so like Charmander is indebted to him. Bulbasaur Ash earned Bulbasaur's respect. So like 3 different relationships, but Ash and Squirtle are actually like friends.
Yeah.
They save each other. You know
Fair
that way.
enough.
Yeah.
So that's my reason for it. But yeah, I'd agree with you though. I'd love to have seen like Misty and Brock had their own starters.
Yeah.
And like they all kind of like grow in different
Or
ways.
I also would have even loved seeing Brock doing the gym challenge as well for the crack.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been really good because he's already the first 2 there. Like
Although that's kind of having Yu-Gi-Oh and Joey doing the same.
Yeah, that's
doing
true.
the same,
Actually, yeah.
on the same track.
Well, in fairness, now this kind of like preempted Yu-Gi-Oh by a couple of years, so
Yeah.
you know they would have. The guy writing Yu-Gi-Oh like the first few episodes would have just watched this and went, "Ah, fuck it! They got there before me. Scrap the whole thing. I'm writing Beyblade instead."
That's one never got watching.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
So yes, they walk off then as Charmander jumps into the Pokeball with their new companion. And Rater gently reminds them that it's still lost and should really get back on track to end the episode. Because the Rater is just bored of this heartwarming shit by now.
Yeah.
And that's the end of our episode.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, we have a very quick addition of the Pokedex this week. Because we've only discovered and caught one Pokemon this week. And that's, what's it called again, Bert?
Charmander.
Yes, it is, of course. How could I have forgotten? So, I'm going to put my cards on the table here, lads. Charmander is my favourite starter. There is no competition here.
I'd flip between Charmander and Squirtle.
I love Squirtle. I love Charmander. At the evolutions of Charmander,
Yeah.
probably more than I love the evolutions of Squirtle.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely love Squirtle. Like, but
It
I'm
has
gonna
such
come
a
back to
personality in the show.
Yes.
Like the Squirtle Squad, the
that
sunglasses.
that's what I wanted to say. Like, from if I was to pick a starter from the episodes, Squirtle wins hands down.
Yes.
Still.
Because we
So
were going to
that-
have this talk after the Squirtle episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to assess which of the best episodes is the best, like, what promotes the best starter from those episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I do love the story of the Charmander. Like, you know, it's the kind of the first kind of emotionally triggering
Yes.
Butterfree
episode.
isn't.
We haven't got that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean
No,
the Metapod.
Metapod evolving into Butterfree.
No, that was just relief. Don't have another one of these fucking Metapod battles.
Yeah, mathematically that cannot happen anymore now.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to catch another Metapod, is he? Fuck that, like.
No. But,
I love that. Yeah.
No, then he gets a Weedle.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
Fuck. Here
At
we
least
go
there's
again.
a poison sting there, you know.
Cocoon is on
Yeah.
the way.
But yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like I said, like I would agree with you on that front. This episode really does like paint Charmander for sympathy and pity, and everyone will just love it unconditionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as you would do with any abandoned pet, I guess.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur, you kind of like you kind of like think, oh, that thing is class. Look at that thing just
Yeah.
headbutting everything inside. Like that's so cute. Yeah, you're gonna be shocked to hear, by the way, that Charmander is based off a lizard. More specifically, a salamander. That's obviously where the Mander name comes
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Actually, all the translations all kind of deviate to like fire lizard, basically, or fire, or in obviously English's term is like burn and salamander. So it's not all kind of variations on that theme, really. And yeah, there wasn't that much to its design really, bar the fiery tail, which I think is quite good. Like it looks really like distinctive, you know. And it's like they do it a few times with most of the starters. Like Chimchar is the same, Cyndaquil technically the same.
Yeah.
And that's like more or less it. Like they don't like reuse that thing for the most part, but for most fire Pokemon, they have to have fire in the design. So
Yeah, they did reuse that quite a bit. I'm trying to think, did they do that with any of the other like water starters apart from make them all blue?
yeah, well, some of them
Was
kind of
there
have foam
any
around
design?
them and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
a bit of surf every on their body, like and all that, but not necessarily. Like I think for the water things, you always gonna have like kind of damp skin. So like Poliwrath kind of looks like has like a kind of like a bit like a bead of sweat on it or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And with the grass, then it's always got a bulb, so the motif is still there. You know, you
Yeah.
can still recognise it as its type. But with each of the fire, I think it obviously stands out a bit more naturally because of how like it's fire. The Pokemon is on fucking fire. That's going to stand out, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's not much trivia about it really. It's just a fucking cool Pokemon. Everyone likes it. Really.
It's the first fire starter, which also means it's the first of them based off the Chinese Zodiac.
Yes.
Every one of the fire starters in the game so far has been, you've had Charmander, you've had Torchic being
Yes.
the chicken, you've had Chimchar being the monkey,
Yes.
Tepig being the pig,
Cyndaquil is a mouse.
Cyndaquil is the mouse.
Yes.
Yeah. What was there after
Monkey?
that? The fox.
Yeah. We have
Chimchar's the monkey.
Chimchar's the monkey. So you have lizard,
Mouse.
chicken, monkey, pig,
Fox.
cat,
Yeah.
And
Yes.
now bunny, rabbit.
Trying to think like
The Jackie Chan
talismans.
adventures.
Yeah, the Jackie Chan talismans. Like,
So
oh,
we need a cow.
Yes.
We need a dog.
I think maybe Fox might count that.
No.
Or is Fox separate in Zodiac?
I think
I don't
the
remember.
viper was one.
Oh, snake. Ooh.
Snake.
That'd
Yeah.
be a good one.
Fire snake.
Fire snake would be good. Imagine it like lashes itself. It's
Yeah.
like, that'd be good.
Because I had all of the talismans that you collected with the Jackie Chan comic.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I'm
Tiger.
so trying
That's
to.
another one.
Tiger. Well, I think it's in our counts as a tiger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it is an actual. It's like literally based off the rest of Tiger Mask. You can't really get any more on.
I'm
those
running
than
through
that.
the talismans in my head.
Yeah.
as well at the minute.
And then what do those talismans give you as a power? It's like didn't make sense. Why does the pig make you fast?
You,
No, the pig made you fast, wasn't it?
No, the pig
mate.
give you laser eyes.
Oh yeah, the laser eyes. Yeah.
yeah,
The rabbit gave you super speed.
Yes. Oh yeah, score bunny.
yeah. Scorbunny, exactly. Hence why it's. To be fair, Scorbunny's not that fast, which is kind of odd. Like the water start is faster. Funny how that works. I guess spies are quicker than footballers somehow.
Horse, that's the one I'm missing.
Oh, well
Ponyta?
yeah, Ponyta's already there, but we can have another
Yeah.
fire horse. Fuck it.
So we're missing horse, cow, then
You said snake, didn't you?
Snake.
yeah, we're missing snake. So
Yes.
that's 3, and so we're missing a fourth one. Sheep.
Fire sheep. To be fair, that would kind of look class. It was just like a sheep on fire,
Yeah.
bleating itself to oblivion.
Wooloo who's been set on fire.
A woof. Anyway, so that's the end of that, lads. Our Pokédex counter is 33 seen,
Yeah.
7 caught.
Hey.
Really racking up the numbers there, lads, you
Yeah.
have to say. So, again, chaps, thank you very much for listening to that. We will be back next week then with the Squirtle Squad episode.
Woo!
Where Burt Boss is going to fan out for a while. She's going to... If you ever want to see Burt Boss stand for something, this is the episode she's going to stand.
And the gimmick in the next episode, Burke Bass would like to sit for the episode. She stands for Squirtle
She
Squad.
stands for Squirtle, yeah. Although she didn't really keep up her promise of putting Christopher Walken into this episode, so the streak is over already
Oh
for
shit, I
celebrity
totally
involvement.
forgot because I was so focused on saying Charmander. I didn't get to say anything about it being nice and hot.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing about that, right? If you did actually listen closely, that was actually Christopher Walken doing a spot-on Liverpool impression. Just the impression was that good, you didn't actually notice it. But if you listen, if you have a keen ear like we do, you'd know. So yeah, we'll probably maybe leave that mini arc there.
Oh, I should have jumped in with needs more cowbell when talking about the fire starter.
Yeah. The actual bell is fire. Like it's actually the cow's like
The
standing.
cow
on
is fine, but the bell is on
bell's
fire.
on fire. Yeah, that's how it gets it then. Anyway, so guys, thank you very much for listening to that episode. We will be back next week for more of the same. Feel free to listen to our previous episodes on the Low Blows Network.
Yep.
Watch our video equivalents on the Nerds Are Us channel if you're listening to it that way. And follow all of the other stuff we do on Monday Madness. Our Let's Plays, our streams, all of our other hot content.
Nice and hot.
Nice and hot. But until then, guys, we'll see you next week for the next episode. Until then, take care.
See you.
Bye.